Time had a way of softening the edges of their scars, smoothing the places where grief had once lived like a second heartbeat. 2 years had passed since the night everything changed. The night love finally stopped running, stopped hiding, stopped pretending it didn't want to stay. And in those 2 years, something beautiful happened. They learned how to breathe again, together. Their home stood quiet that morning, warmed by a sun that poured through the curtains like a blessing. She stood in the kitchen barefoot, her hair loose, her laughter soft as she reached up to grab a mug. He watched her from the doorway. The same way he had since the first day his heart made the impossible choice, to love her even when the world said he shouldn't. He stepped behind her, sliding his arms around her waist, pressing a slow kiss to her shoulder. "You're up early," she murmured. "Couldn't sleep," he whispered. "You weren't beside me." She leaned into him, letting the quiet hold them the way it always did. There was no guilt now, no fear, no ghost standing between them. Just two hearts that fought for each other, bled for each other, healed with each other. On the counter beside them was a small white envelope. She smiled when she saw him notice. "Go on," she said softly. "Open it." He took it carefully, almost nervous. Inside was a sonogram, tiny, grainy, miraculous. He froze, his throat tightened. His eyes stung. We're, she nodded, tears filling her eyes before she could speak. "Yes, we are." He pulled her into his arms, holding her like the world couldn't touch them anymore. Like every broken piece of his past finally found its place. A choked, shaky laugh escaped him. "Our baby. We're really getting another chance." "No," she whispered into his neck. "We're building a new life." They stayed like that for a long moment, breathing in the gift they never thought they'd be allowed to have. Later, they walked out to the backyard. The same place where he once confessed that loving her felt impossible. Now it was their favorite sanctuary. Birds chattered in the trees. The morning breeze swayed the flowers she planted last spring, and he rested a hand gently across her stomach. Already protective, already in awe. "After everything we went through," she said quietly, "why do you think love chose us?" He kissed her temple. "Because we fought for it," he answered. "Because we didn't give up. Because you were worth breaking every rule for." Her eyes softened. "And you were worth waiting for." The wind moved around them like a blessing. Their fingers intertwined, their foreheads touched, and for the first time in forever, the future didn't feel heavy. It felt wide open, warm, kind, a life they chose, a love that refused to die, a family that began against all odds and grew because of them. For the full story, click the link below. Vintage Mike Tales,